Hi everybody, this is Lex again. I'm here at Integrate, second day, and we have another episode for you from our Azure on Air podcast. And with me, I'm very happy to have Harold Campos. This is actually the very first time that we met.
It is, yes.
Clearly, Harold is also from Microsoft. I assume that you are based in Seattle, or at least
Toronto, Canada.
Oh, Toronto, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. I didn't even know it. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that saves you a couple of hours in your trip coming to here, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not bad, yeah.
We're going to have a talk about several topics. Hybrid logic apps will certainly be one that is just announced GA at this conference. So that's great. Coming from a BizTalk background, I'm pretty excited about that anyway, because it solves a lot of migration scenarios that otherwise would be harder to get done with Azure in the cloud. So that's certainly something that we're going to talk about. So, welcome. Very happy to help you here indeed.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
absolutely.
well.
So I'll start. Thank you for the opportunity. And yes, my name is Harold Campos. I am a principal product manager at Microsoft in the Azure Logic Apps team. I also happen to manage the BizTalk server products. I'm the BizTalk PM and the host integration server product, which is a middleware for mainframes. This is my first Integrate, and I think it's a wonderful event. So I'm having a great time, meeting all of the talent, meeting you, meeting partners and Turbo, and also other colleagues that I don't get to see in a while. So that's.
Yeah. This is really what Integrate is about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's in the name. That's what we do. Integrate. We are all in Microsoft's integration space, but this event has been here for so many years, and it's just such a great gathering. Of this our very niche industry.
You just said it, right? It's niche. I think integration is probably. Is not understood by everybody because it tends to be oversimplified when you talk about just calling a service or calling a REST API. So today's world, it's all about simplifying the message, getting the message to everybody. But the fact of the matter is that, we're just meeting a customer that was running a system that was 49 years old. And we were having this conversation. They said many generations supported that system, right? So I mean, you just don't call that system if you need to integrate with it, right? That was a bank in South Africa, I think, and integration it's complex. So that's the reason why these events they nurture the field, right? They help us stay connected, stay integrated, right?
Yeah. No, very true. And we still see it often a lot, right? That all those old legacy systems, still need to be connected. Actually, one of the most fun things I saw several years ago when Paul Larsen was still the PM also for BizTalk at least, that it was possible to connect logic apps to old IBM mainframes, the 3270 hosts and that kind of stuff.
No, absolutely. It's a reality, right? So, a lot of the legacy technologies that we have available, they come from host integration server. And host integration server is a product that has been around since 1991, 1992. So then it's been around for ages, and what we've done over the last 5 to 6 years is we have taken a good portion of the features that were award-winning features, so to speak, right, of the product, and then we incorporated them into Logic Apps to give our customers who want to integrate with mainframes and mid-ranges the ability to connect directly from Logic Apps, right? The ability to speak with AI, and then get information from the mainframes and then make a decision. I think that is a wonderful scenario that many customers are starting to implement.
And actually speaking about it, I didn't even do it on purpose, but actually there is something that's also happening now, of course, making that logic app technology and capabilities, making it available on premise.
Yes, absolutely. So, about 3 years ago, we started looking into what is the gap between what we are providing today and how do we help customers to migrate from BizTalk to Logic Apps, right? Because clearly different architectures. BizTalk is such a fantastic product, and but Logic Apps is a more modern architecture that runs in the cloud.
Of course.
So then to a certain degree, we spoke with a lot of customers, and they expressed, some of them expressed the need, or that of staying on premises because one, companies like utilities, they don't really have many systems in the cloud, so their core systems they are running still on premises. Yet they need an integrator. Some banks,
Healthcare.
Exactly, healthcare. So then they don't want to go to the cloud to integrate and then come back, with the data. So they are exposing data. A number of things don't make a lot of sense. You're introducing latency that is not needed. So we reviewed this feedback internally, and we decided to incorporate a hybrid product in Logic Apps. And first, we had an offering that we are actually deprecating. That was what we call the Arc-enabled Logic Apps. We are deprecating that because we decided to go through a more robust architecture, which is the one that we have today, the hybrid deployment model that we are announcing its general availability at Integrate at this event. And this feature it brings the Logic Apps capabilities with Logic Apps standard into your own environment. That means that you can run it on premises. That means that if you are not an Azure cloud user, maybe you're using some other cloud or private data center, so then you can deploy it there as long as you use Kubernetes. So you need a Kubernetes distribution, and then there are a number of steps via Arc. So you have to install what we call extensions for a connected environment, and there are a number of steps that we follow. But basically, the main principle is local processing. The data plane remains on premises, and the control plane remains in the cloud. So then there has to be an agent that provides information about the status of the environment, but not your data.
No.
So in other words, your data is not visible in the cloud unless you allow it to happen. But basically, all of your data remains on premises.
Yeah, and that's of course the whole purpose of Logic App Hybrid, to keep everything on premise, indeed, not push any data to the cloud.
Exactly. So I think we are covering, for those customers who wanted to run local, we are covering most of their needs. There are still some customers who are asking to be fully disconnected. And for those customers, for us, it's difficult to provide a solution for a fully disconnected scenario in a world that is, geared towards the cloud and permanent updates, and we keep releasing and shipping features every week. So if we were to provide something fully disconnected, it would be similar like providing customers with a CD as we did 20, 30 years ago. And we really don't think that is the approach, right? So that's why it sounded more like a hybrid approach will be more interesting for customers. And yes, we have customers that are early adopters and they are already using the feature. So, which is great because it tells us a lot, with the telemetry, it tells us a lot about the feedback, things like, we give a script for deployment, and that script goes and fetches images from a container registry and then gets extensions from the cloud. So a lot of those things that happen, they require some networking configuration. So then we didn't know that. I mean, we knew that because it happens when we do our testing and everything, but some of those things, they have to be documented, and we didn't have them documented. So then this customer come back to us and they say, please document this. We work together, to have all of these details available for the field.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, indeed, right? Yeah, collaborate with your customers, with your partners, and proceed. Bring everything GA when the time is right, and take it from there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned the product is currently in GA. What have been the most recent changes before going to GA? There have been a couple of versions. For example, I struggled myself After deploying everything, the Kubernetes clusters, the Arc-enabled Kubernetes clusters, of course, and setting up everything. Some time ago, I struggled with creating the actual workflows. Simply, I couldn't get it to work. I hear that from other people as well.
I think a couple of things, right? The first one is making sure that the infrastructure is set up correctly, right?
That's key.
That all of the dependencies they are available in the regions where, for instance, the container apps, Azure Container Apps product that we use as a dependency to go and to work this connected experience, it's not available in every single region in the cloud. So then that means that for some, for you to deploy, you have to make sure that the connected environment is available in the specific one of the 9 regions that we have available today. Mm-hmm. So if you take any other region, so then your configuration may break or it may not proceed. That's one thing. The other thing is permissions, making sure that you have the right permissions, the latest extensions and everything. Once you have vetted all of that, you go and then it gets provisioned successfully. Then when you try to create a logic app, you enter the basic information and there are a couple of things that you will be asked for, right? You will be asked about a SQL Server environment that is used as a runtime, and you will also be asked for an SMB path, file share, right? When you get asked, so you have to make sure that you enter the right credentials and everything, because it may seem like it went okay, right? But in the end, when the workflow, so you see the portal, and when you try to access the workflow, you will see that the workflow does not load or you cannot create it. That it's likely happening because there is an issue trying to access your SMB folder, right? The file share. Most likely because the SQL runtime, you will notice it right away. The SQL environment, if it's broken, you will not see anything. So to me, it's more an issue accessing the SMB. You asked about improvements or changes over the last between these two. The one that we are deprecating, then the one that we went for public preview about a year ago. I think something to call out is now we are providing open telemetry, right? Yeah. So customers said, I want to see what's going on in the environment, but I don't want to go to App Insights in the cloud, right? And that's not supported on premises. So then how do we do that? So we added support for open telemetry. Now you can have your own on-premises open telemetry configuration, or you can send it to whatever provider you are using in the cloud if you want to ship it to the cloud, which defeats the purpose, but you can do that, right? So we support open telemetry. That is to now the support that we have for the SQL runtime. It's been added as well for standard. So now in a standard also you can use SQL instead of the storage account, right? So this is one of those features that is born in hybrid and it needs supported to standard, and that's the beauty of it, right? So because as you are looking at a wider spectrum of scenarios, that also open the possibilities, for you to implement new features like providing SQL support for runtime in Logic Apps standard in the cloud. A couple of things that we did too is we shipped a couple of connectors for these on-premises scenarios, RabbitMQ and Kafka, because we already have an IBM MQ connector, but IBM MQ is a fantastic IBM product, but it's very heavy, right? I mean, customers, they use it because they run in a lot of legacy systems, but not necessarily for these lightweight scenarios where you want to integrate and then you want to create patterns, pops up, and so that's where RabbitMQ and Kafka comes to play. Yeah. And we are also working on JMS connector, right? And that is currently targeting ActiveMQ. So I think, if you add up all of these new features, right, you are progressing towards having a more complete on-premises offering, architecturally speaking.
Yeah. You already mentioned RabbitMQ. I also hear customers or people asking here, hey, how about server bus? But at the moment, there is no
Yeah, local. Exactly. So I think, and probably one discussion that we a discussion point that it keeps being brought when we talk about BizTalk migrations is why is not Azure Integration Services one product, right? Why is it you have Service Bus, API management, Event Grid, different products? And the fact of the matter is that in the cloud, in a cloud world, the products, they grow at their own pace, right?
Yeah.
And customers and the scenarios, they keep changing, and then it's like a new world that was discovered, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever, right? So then every single product has their own requirements and business models and everything. So then what we did is we created a feature called the integration environments that allow you to integrate all of them from a monitoring and manageability perspective. But they are still different SKUs, different products. Now, to your question about Service Bus on premises, well, first of all, that's a question for the Service Bus team. But what I can tell you, that's the short answer.
Where are you?
But yes, exactly. But what I can tell you though is that they are always looking at new scenarios, at our strategies, the same way how we do in Logic Apps, right?
Of course.
And I don't know if the future will bring it. I don't really know. But I think with this Rabbit MQ and Kafka, we have accelerated, the number of scenarios for customers going to hybrid.
Yeah. Okay. And feature-wise, via Service Bus and Rabbit MQ.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are standard queuing systems, right? I think Service Bus is probably I love Service Bus. Is the best messaging product out there in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
Now, there are open source products, right? And there are messaging systems everywhere, and they follow the same specs or patterns or similar ones. And for the purpose of what you want to accomplish, they work well, right? And again, so in the case of IBM MQ, for instance, we've been integrated with IBM MQ for 20 years at least. Now we brought that also to Logic Apps, and customers are happy with IBM MQ.
It works nicely. Yeah. So if a customer would like to migrate from BizTalk to Azure Hybrid, how does Microsoft support them in terms of that migration journey?
So we are part of the development division in core AI, and in our organization is engineering organization, right? In what we do is we provide guidance to the field and to our account teams that work with customers and to our ambassadors and to SMEs, MVPs, for them to share that information on how to do things best, right? The type of assistance that we provide is we're happy to be with customers. We cannot meet with every single customer just because of a matter of bandwidth, right? We're a small team, and we have to deal with building the product, maintaining the features, providing quality services and such. But we're happy to meet with the customers who are interested and then listen at their needs as well, right? If there is a feature gap, what we'd love to hear, Lex, are the missing parts. Because, some customers say, yeah, you have provided most of what I need for my solution, but there are still some details, that I need to flesh out. So the thing is that if we focus our developers to complete, those tiny details, then they cannot build the other, trailblazing features, right? So that's why for us it's a balance, right?
Of course.
And so we try to cover the major need, right? So then, and we likely let customers or partners some work to do, to just, to finish, just a sprint or the race.
Yeah, and even technically, right, there's already support for all kinds of a bit more BizTalk technologies like XML.
Exactly, like the rules engine, for instance.
Yeah.
So the rules engine, we shipped the runtime in Logic Apps, and you can use it from Logic Apps, and now you can use it in Hybrid, and now we're working on an action as well for XML facts, and you would think today maybe, well, who would use a rules engine, right? But the reality is that there are a lot of customers who are interested in rules engines because they help them provide governance in a low-code environment, right? So, you don't have to do a lot of coding. Imagine there is something that gets lost with the rules engines, which is the fact that they are not just They are not just conditions and actions. They have the ability of re-evaluate by themselves on itself. Like, for instance, if you have a set of data, you apply a rule to it, and then all of a sudden you had another rule that was supposed to apply to a change value of the rule. You can ask the rules engine to reassess everything on the fly, and that will happen in the context of the rules engine. So those are things that get lost in the message of a rules engine. Sometimes you think, oh, just declarative, right? You say it, you write it, and then you execute it. No, a serious rules engine does reevaluation, that forward chaining. And those are the things that we have incorporated into hybrid for those BizTalk customers who are using the rules engine for Swift or for custom redirection or for content or for decision management.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. We are about to wrap up. Do you have any calls to actions? Where can people start? Do you have any resources maybe?
Absolutely. So we have available guidance for BizTalk migration customers in the website, in the Logic Apps website. We keep updating the docs. We'd love to hear about the feature gaps that you are finding in the product. We understand that we have to continue building features and we want to gain your confidence because this is for us it's about making great products for you to make great solutions.
So there's still a roadmap. Of course,
absolutely.
For now it is GA, but we can still expect more.
Once we ship something as generally available, that means that we are committed, for this feature for years to come, right? And even for deprecation, right? I mean, for deprecation, that is something that is sort of it takes years for us to deprecate something that has been GA. There is a very strict process for that, so we don't jump into the GA mode if we were not committed with a feature.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This was very enlightening.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here. I really had a great time.
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
And to our audience, thanks again for joining this episode of the Azure on Air podcast. And we look forward to see you in the next one. Thank you.